Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. Artosis!
Tasteless!
Are you ready for today's games?
I am ready for today's games, Tasteless. Are you ready for today's games?
Wait. Yes. Now I am. This is the GSL, the largest, biggest, bestest, not even just esports show, actually just TV show.
It's the greatest
It's
form of entertainment that the human race has ever had.
It's true. StarCraft 2, great game. We took the first three seasons, of the GSL, and we took the best players, and then the players who were just a little bit below the best, split them up into Code S and Code A. Right now we're going to be doing Code A, that's the lower half. These guys are trying to get into Code S right now, duking it out in a bracket phase. It's going to be pretty sick.
Yeah,
and speaking of which, let's take a look at yesterday's match results.
All right, yesterday we had Bonbon Zenith take out I'm Junwei. I'm Junwei, of course, a famous old-school StarCraft 1 pro gamer, but Bonbons made him look bad. OGS top, absolutely raffle stomp TSL alive, and, well, both these players, Bonbon Zenith and OGS top, will try for Code S. Now, today's matches are going to be ST GgoBooGie, a.k.a. Squirtle, against SC Foyu in an epic TVP match. And then we're going to have OGS Sazane, the guy who took out Rhett, against LonerPrime.we, the greatest Chinese player.
Yeah, I'm sure we have a lot of Chinese viewers here today, so if you guys are new to the GSL, thank you so much for joining us. Both Artosis and I have been to China twice. Now to Chengdu and Shanghai, we love it. Great esports scene out there, so welcome. If you are new to the show, if you're a frequent viewer, thank you for staying and watching this the entire time.
Yeah.
So our first matchup right now, we're going to have Squirtle against SC Foyu.
Yes.
Squirtle, it says GgoBooGie, but apparently that's Squirtle. That's what that name means.
Yeah.
So get ready for
the
some
Pokemon Squirtle.
Reference.
Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to have this matchup today, PvT. Protoss vs. Terran, I think, is one of the matchups that really isn't fully figured out yet. We still see people doing all sorts of weird stuff. Lots of different openings for both sides. There doesn't seem to be one right way to play it. And I'm really curious to see what these two guys are going to try to throw at each other here.
Yeah, I'm quite interested as well. Of course, they're both from very reputable teams.
Yes.
Startail and SC. I mean, Foyu. There was an SC team in StarCraft.
Go easy, guys. There was an SC team in StarCraft. Normally, I'm the one dropping the ball.
I know.
Doing these things. This is
know,
good.
Tasteless.
I feel great about this now.
Of course, by the way, SC is his initials. I did ask him in that last interview.
Oh,
so
really? I thought it's for StarCraft.
It's not for StarCraft. He's not that big a fan. Imagine just naming yourself StarCraft. She's StarCraft.
Well, in StarCraft 1, there was a guy that named himself Protoss.
Yeah.
If that couldn't be difficult enough to cast.
That's just a great ID to take.
It is not bad. It affected,
well, wouldn't it be funny if his ID was Protoss, but he used Terran, and he was playing a TVP?
Oh, I would actually run
Protoss is attacking the Protoss player with tanks. It's like
I would strangle the guy. That's
would
bad,
you now?
Man.
That's pretty bad, dude.
All right, let's take a look now at the players in their booths. Here's our first guy, Squirtle. Squirt over here. The Protoss player, he's now in the round of, we made it to the round of 16 in Season 3. We didn't really see him at all before then. He's on the team Startail. That's a great team. Players like Rainbow, formerly known as Hope Torture, remember that team as well.
Of course, last season, he did take out Rots in the first round, 2-0. Rots now on Slayers. Also took out Slayers Golden. Well, he used to be Golden Foyu, but now he's on Slayers as well. Looks like Slayer's Boxer likes to take people that Squirtle beats. So, if Squirtle can take out SC Foyu, maybe that will stay true, Tasteless, and Boxer will pick him up.
We're going to find out. So here is SC Foyu.
That's right.
Typing away.
Took out We Made Fox's Lin in the first season. And, in last season, rather. And then lost to Freaky-Healer 1-2. Almost took him out.
Lin is, by the way, doing quite well. In this tournament.
Lin's shown a good amount of skill.
Repping War 3 quite well.
I would say he's actually better than Moon at this point.
Yeah, looked better than Moon,
in fact,
for sure.
Lin even said himself that he seems to have the edge over Moon. So,
well,
yeah,
didn't know that.
Fun facts there.
So, by the way, guys, we have an insanely large prize pool, so there's a lot on the line, not just notoriety, but cash as well. Now, on to the maps for match number 1.
Jungle Basin, Metalopolis, and Zell Naga Caverns. This first map is going to be one where SCFOU is going to be a little bit scared of Squirtle because you can do some really aggressive builds in that map. Well, it looks like eliminated. Squirtle took out Steps of War, and SCFOU Blistering Sands. Pretty normal to see those 2 maps taken out. And I think this could be a pretty good match, Tasteless.
Looks like it. No shocker really there, Squirtle getting rid of Steps of War. It's not as common with Protoss players, but it's just a map where it's like, well, a lot of stuff can go wrong.
That's true.
It's a volatile
It's
map.
a grass map, so you have to be very careful as a water Pokemon.
It is on. No, it's not. Still loading.
That's
It will
me.
be on
I'm
soon.
sorry.
It's our Toast's computer every time. Over here in the red, we have our Protoss player releasing his Pokeball into this match. He is...
Pokemon don't have Pokeballs, Tasteless.
Look, I actually never played the
That would
Pokemon
be
series.
slavery.
Look, I actually never played the Pokemon series. It's a confession. I did play Pokemon Snap.
If you could call
when
it
I was-
Pokemon instead of Pokemon, I might not have to kill you, Tasteless.
Pokemon. Down here we have SCFOU. Yeah, to be honest, I never played Pokemon. So
It was
I
actually
did play Pokemon Snap.
that was like the worst game
That was
ever.
the worst game I've ever played.
But actually, Tasteless, just a little aside here, Pokemon was actually an amazing RTS game and an amazing multiplayer game. I'm not even joking. The gameplay is actually superb.
You mean an RPG?
Yeah, what did I say?
You said RTS.
Oh.
Sorry,
It's
guys.
not? I'm like, I don't even know. What am I watching here? Is this Quake?
So, Jungle Basin is a one-on-one map. Obviously, that means they both know each other's starting locations. We can see risky, hyper-aggressive, all-in strats.
Yeah.
In this case, it doesn't look like we're going to have any of that too soon here.
Yeah, nothing proxied. Did you know, Tasteless, a little fact about Squirtle? They say that the best video game players choose Squirtle as their first Pokemon.
Is that true?
Well, I chose Squirtle as my first Pokemon, so I'm thinking, yeah.
There you go. Well, you are the ultimate gamer. I hear they named a show after you.
I don't want to talk about that show, Tasteless, because it's bad.
Now we got a... Oh, it's not terrible, but...
No, it's terrible.
I would fail if I went on that show because of the real-life challenges. I would actually just win the whole show if it was just games, but then they have these like real-life challenges. It's like, well, you have to shoot basketballs into hoops. I'm like, oh...
I'm not sure
about that.
How much you can differentiate your skill playing Halo while your chair's upside down and or playing NHL 2010 or whatever and against the computer. Come on, Tasteless. I don't know about this.
So we're not going to see too much from the Protoss until we actually see the Stalker come out in the SCD lead. You never want to let your opponent see what you're doing early on because you can be countered. And, I mean, with good players like this, I've said it before, but I think it needs to be repeated for new viewers here. You got to know your opponent's race as well as your own race, so you know how to respond.
That is quite true. Now, at CFO, you're going to open up with a Reaper. It's very nice to scout quite quickly. But already, Squirtle is giving away his build order. Notice he doesn't have the second gas. Notice SCFOU sees that. This means that he's basically just going to make a Nexus next. The build wouldn't make sense if he gets a gas after killing this SCV. It would be the trickiest trick ever.
Yeah, it would be. So, Stalker's out. He's going to hunt down this SCV. Now let's see. Is he going to do something like 4 Warp Gate? Not out of the question. Is he going to go ahead and get a Robo Bay? Maybe get some intel? Not out of the question. What we do know, though, is this Reaper here. Initially, the Reaper was used mostly to take out workers, harassment unit, a map control unit. Now it tends to be a scouting unit. Unless he decides to take on a Stalker. Not a wise decision.
No, I think it would take about 15 Reapers to take out a Stalker. I haven't tested, but I'm pretty sure. Pretty certain of it.
That sounds about right. Oh, take a look here. Squirtle is going to fast expand. You know what's interesting? You saw that Reaper. He's still heading towards the Terran.
Well, that is. And at the Terran's base.
Terran base is under attack. The Terran's base is under attack.
Well,
it was
basically
under
a
attack.
Zealot just died. It tried to run in and see what it could see.
It's a little bit too ambitious. Reaper denied.
So the Reaper sees exactly what build order is going on. In the meantime, Squirtle does not know exactly what's going on. All he saw was one barracks, Tasteless, when in fact there are 2 barracks and
But I
a
would
command
think
center being
with the
made.
number of infantry, you probably can guess.
Yeah.
2 barracks. Okay, it's going to be RoboBay next. I really like Squirtle's build. I feel like this is a build we'll probably see in years to come. It looks very stable.
Yeah,
Doing
it
a
can be
fast
quite stable.
expansion.
This is a good map for it as well because you only have the one ramp to defend
Yeah.
early on. So we're going to have to see these Marauders come up. This could be very scary, Tasteless.
Nice baiting with the force field.
That's right.
A little bit of energy lost. This bear over here at the ramp just watching the action unfolds.
The Ursa Dak Calf guy.
Oh, nice. And that was just a pressure build. He's not going to actually go up there.
Yeah, no biggie. You know, just make him use up some force fields. That's fine. It's okay. It's like whatever.
It's like whatevs.
Yeah.
NP.
Easy. All right, right now we have 34 probes against 26 SCVs, so we do have Squirtle slightly in the lead economically. But as the orbital command finishes up, of course, mules are going to come down and help to equalize that out. Now, a robotics facility has finished up with that observer moving out. Squirtle's build, as you said, Tasteless, especially for this map, it's a pretty nice build.
Yeah.
You're going to have enough time to basically defend against everything. Thing is, it's very gas light early, so if they do a very aggressive all-in on you, that might be a little bit hard to hold off. You're going to have to really rely on just a few force fields because you don't have so much gas.
Yeah, very true, Artosis. And he's going to tech to Colossus. I actually think on this map, Colossus is a good choice because you can actually stay 2 base, and it's going to be hard for the Terran to go for a 3rd base. 2 base Colossus versus 2 base infantry on a map that has some narrow pathways. I think Colossus is a good choice. That's the way I feel.
It's a good point, Tasteless. I never really care for 2 base Colossus because it's just so expensive, hard to get a lot of units out. But you're quite right. On a map with a lot of more tight hallways and whatnot, it can still be quite doable.
So, looks like we have a pylon over here, and he just warped into Zealot to slow down Terran's mining time.
And right now, supply-wise, they're both very close. 76 to 73. I'm not even going to tell you who's in the lead there. That's how close they are. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't even matter.
But really, Squirtle is winning the economy war. He's got 52 probes against just 35 SCVs. So his economy at this point is actually quite sick. He's been really good about chrono boosting probes. And now he's just using his chrono boosts on his Colossus.
And he'll probably use the remainder of his chrono boosts on the Colossus. Well, to pump out Colossuses as well. Colossuses. You know, Blizzard really had to name that unit. The one unit where you could say Colossi or Colossuses. Colossi.
Colosso. Colossi.
I don't know.
Colossorum. Colossis. Colossos. Colossis. I used to take Latin.
They sleep in a Colosseum.
Oh, that was terrible.
What do you call a joke that's really funny involving a Colossus?
A tasteless joke.
joke.
A Colossus. Wow.
All right, we got to stop right now.
Yeah.
We're actually so
Can
not
we
funny.
restart the game?
This is pretty bad.
Can we just have these players leave and redo
Restart.
this game?
It's going to be like, listen, Taste and Artosis are not funny. We need to get that fixed. Well, Probe, you're in for a surprise. Terran moving out.
That's right.
I do not believe he'll actually have or do any real damage here unless he can. For some reason, the Colossus just run into the infantry army.
Yeah. Now, very interesting. Our Terran player has made a Ghost Academy. So I'm wondering what he's planning for that. I guess it's going to have to be EMP, but I always just hold out that little bit of hope, Tasteless, that we're going to see nukes.
Well, nukes are just great.
Nukes are actually awesome. They're so underused, though. Only Slayer's Boxer and TLO give them any love.
Well, you know, one thing about nukes in StarCraft 1 was that they were basically inaccessible.
Yeah, not
Slayer's
only that,
Boxer was using them back when Everybody else was so bad, it didn't actually matter what he did. But now, I think we have so many StarCraft 1 pros that have switched over to StarCraft 2. Rightfully so, smart move. And they haven't, I think, reprogrammed their minds to be more experimental with nukes.
Yeah, that may very well be true. As well as nukes actually took longer to build, took longer to land, and cost 8 supply in StarCraft 1. So those are all good reasons as well. And also, you couldn't get scanners if you made nukes because they took up that spot on the command center. So
yeah, that's quite true.
Just so much better in this game. But still, we aren't seeing them nearly as much as I think we could.
Now, I actually thought the Protoss was going to stay on 2 base. I guess not. I thought he was going to do the Choya Foyu style. You know?
He's got a nice little army right now. You know, he's got those 3 Colossus. They've already got their range upgrade done. He's got mostly Zealots, but he also has some sentries in there. So his army's pretty decent, aside from the fact that Vikings could literally just attack, move across the map, and kill every Colossus. But other than that, his army is actually pretty fearsome and won't be taken out by land units.
Yeah, that's quite true.
But actually, the more I think about it, the more I think, wow, oh, okay, he does have a bunch of stalkers in the back. Good for him.
Way to
go. No stalkers, tasteless. It would
Give
be
the guy
so
a sticker.
Yeah.
Maybe a scratch and sniff sticker. It's the ones you get when you do a good job on the math test in 3rd grade. And you're like, oh, I got a sticker.
Actually, scratch and sniff, and everyone goes up and scratches and sniffs it.
Actually, I never got the sticker. I never did my homework.
Oh, that's terrible. I did my homework up until 5th grade. After that, I was all done tastes.
No, I remember actually. I think I was right about in 2nd grade. I looked at my homework and I'm like, oh, no, I actually need to go home and play Warcraft too.
This is actually, that is a very funny thing, Taste.
I was like, look, I got my priorities straight, man.
Yeah, no, actually, I stopped doing homework when I met a friend of mine, the only Korean from my town, who introduced me to StarCraft and the fact that you wouldn't actually get in trouble for not doing your homework.
Yeah, I was like,
my life changed that year, Tasteless.
And then they're like, well, we got to call your parents. And I'm like, all right. So I just dialed the number, and then I let it ring, and the answering machine would come on, and I just hang up and say they didn't answer.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Although for most of you guys, you should do your homework. Little kids watching, you should do your homework.
Actually, doing homework is
We're
very
actually
important.
the anomaly of here.
Yeah.
We didn't do our homework. And
our lives shouldn't
still
be
got our own
working
TV
out.
shows. But
yeah. But we shouldn't have.
We shouldn't have. The factory is going to peak here. This is a smart move from the Terran. Save your scans. Use the factory. But by the way, if Terran engages this, my head will explode.
Well, he does have 3 ghosts in there, so EMP is going to play a factor, but you're right, this is going to be a hard...
even with EMP, I mean, look at that.
There is charge on these Zealots, so this is going to look pretty bad. Okay, here we go. Terran player trying to get in there. There are some High Templars mixed in. Oh, misses the Storm big time.
Gutsy Storm there. Now, note they both took some pretty serious hits here. Stim again.
Going right into these.
I don't know if this is going to work. The Colossus finally picked off, but with all these stalkers here, actually, now I'm not entirely sure because the Vikings are landing. It's going to give the Marauders more time to do some damage.
These Zealots warping in should help out a little bit, but it looks like there's just too much damage being dealt by SC Foyu. Squirtle not choosing the absolute best.
You know what? He shouldn't have expanded. He should have stayed on 2 base and maxed out.
Well, or maybe hit those side storms a little bit better. That certainly would have helped.
Yeah, that's true too.
It's kind of hard to tell exactly what Squirtle was trying to do. Now, SC Foyu going down, taking another base. Right now the supply is 92 against 135. SC Foyu in the lead.
Dude, seriously, like, I know I keep saying it, but like, it's a good build on this map. I really like the build, just 2 base. I know we normally criticize Choya Foyu for being like, well, you're not playing it properly. But this map doesn't really allow you to play properly. So, I mean, if you just stay 2 base hardcore and just try to let the Terran take the 3rd, that's the way I feel.
That's the way you feel.
Nobody in the world can change that. You can't take that away from me.
One day, Tasus, you'll meet a girl who will change the way you feel. Don't worry. I promise. One day someone will love you. All right, we see that our Terran player, SC Foyu, going up here, getting rid of this Triad at 3rd base. Now, this is actually still, the game is not over. Even though SC Foyu is well in the lead, Squirtle has a lot of High Templars. And as long as they don't get all EMP, because they're walking in a bunch, then he could actually make some things happen here, Tasteless. Here we go, some side storms going off. A lot of Zealots coming in as well. Missing a lot of side storms. You don't want to storm right at the front of the army because they're just going to run backwards.
Yeah.
Kind of storm in the middle. Best you can. Good side storms going down still.
Wow, take a look at that. He's melting that infantry army, but Terran, can reinforce this pretty easily. He's pretty
Oh,
close
and
home.
he does go off. Those High Templars just don't have any energy left, Tasteless, and it is looking like SC Foyu going to be able to take this game.
Yeah, ouch. Storming his own units. Well, GG. Squirtle. You have captured a Squirtle.
Tasteless.
Squirtle has fallen.
I can tell you didn't watch the cartoon or play the game. This is
I
terrible.
didn't. I'm sorry, I don't know. I got nothing.
Well, Tasteless, Professor Oak would be sad. Maybe it's time to trade in Squirtle for a Muck.
For a Muck.
Yeah, you might want to try a Poison type against SC Foyu. He kind of looks like Doug Trio. No, it doesn't. I was trying to think of the name of the Pokemon he looks like. It's Weepin' Bell? Weepin' Bell? All right, I'll go with that.
I got no idea.
Yeah.
So that's too bad. Squirtle down one game. We are going to go ahead and get the second game going here in a minute. I think on any other map, that build would have looked a little bit better. Actually, no. Early game, that build's good. But late game, the way he handled it, I just don't agree with it.
And I would like to point out for up-and-coming Protoss players out there, High Templar actually transitions better into Colossus normally than the other way around. Because if you're switching over when you hit 3 bases into High Templar type build, you're going to need a way more gateways. It's kind of like this bumpy transition. Whereas if you transition as you get your 3rd base into Colossus, the Colossus costs so many minerals that it kind of uses up some of your extra income. And if they have Ghosts at that point, the Colossus is pretty good against Ghosts. So, it's one way to look at it right there. I definitely...
That's pretty smart.
Yeah. In PvT, I definitely try for High Templars first when I can.
Oh, countdown started. Get ready for some more PvT action here at the GSL with Tasteless and Artosis.
On Metalopolis.
Sponsored by Sony Ericsson on Metalopolis.